state export a lot of coffee?
Certainly, Karnataka is one of the highest, if not Karnataka.
No, I know what Chikmagalur. I'm saying.
In Karnataka is something like 70% of the coffee in India is from Karnataka.
Okay.
And in that, I think 70% is Kodagu coffee, Cool coffee. So it is a huge amount of coffee that comes out of Kodagu. You have both Arabica and now even Robusta being grown, which is creating an issue with crop patterns, etc. Cool coffee is a very old thing. It started from the British era, essentially.
Yeah.
And it continues to be a part and parcel of life here. And it is one of the heritage products of our state.
I'm so glad that specialty cafes like Blue Tokai and everyone else came around during the pandemic because it allowed Indians to get acquainted with nice coffee. Usually they were used to FMCG, Kirana store kind of coffee, instant coffee, which I'm sure you guys have enjoyed it here because you've had it indigenously.
Well, there's a saying that if you cross the Tungabhadra, you don't get good coffee in India. For us, because we have our South Indian filter coffee. So we perfected the coffee in the way it should be drunk for Indians, because obviously the direct beans and the best produce went abroad. It still does to a great extent. What remains here is the lower quality bean, and that was mixed with chicory to create the blend that we get in filter coffee. So this area and certainly certain parts of the south have perfected the way of making a good South Indian filter coffee. You cross the Tungabhadra and even personal experience, you don't get this. Because there is obviously it's a tea drinking belt. North India certainly is more or less drinks tea rather than coffee. But now, of course, South Indian filter coffee via chains and brands, etc., it's coming up everywhere else, and they're doing well.
So Sabko Coffee in Mumbai sells Sif on the rocks. They call it Sif.
No, of course. Now espresso and espresso coffee now is all the rage and all the trend. I mean, the third wave of coffee.
Right.
You had the first wave, and then you had the second in the Starbucks and the cafe
we just got the third wave. We didn't get the first or second wave in the north.
Yeah, India's automatically gone into the third wave of coffee.
If you want to watch small segments of the podcast, subscribe to Dostcast Clips.
In many which ways. So coffee drinking culture and all that is growing, and it's a big economy. It's a big economy, and it'll create a lot of good jobs going forward. And certainly now we are getting to enjoy the benefits of our own produce as well. So that's also a great movement.
I think that's very important, because I was speaking with someone at Araku Coffee a few years ago, and they said we sell our coffee 3 or 4x at the price in France. And I was like, that's very strange. I said, why do you do that? He said, because we sell the best beans there. And if we have discerning consumers, we should have the best coffee here, because I know many friends who will drop a dime just to have exquisite coffee and have their Chemex and pour-overs and all of those things.
That Chemex, pour-over and all of that, it's in this room, both of us talking about it is fine. We both have that whatever exposure, but that's, again, if you take the majority of India, that's such a small percentage, it's absolutely irrelevant. The vast majority of Indians still don't have access to that fine coffee, and certainly it's more mainstream there, so obviously you're going to get a better price. And naturally, big believer that you allow the market to dictate these sort of things itself. So naturally that goes abroad and is sold for benefit. Again, this helps again to preserve the South Indian filter coffee, so I have no problem at all with it. I think it's great. We have all of these cultures coming together. You have city life, you can enjoy that. You can come into Mysore and have a lovely
I
South
got a
Indian
nice
filter
haircut and
coffee.
a beard yesterday.
Nice South Indian filter coffee here, and have your local, more Desi style food here in Mysore. And you can go to Bangalore and have all the, Japanese or whatever you fancy there as well. So all that's coming together, and it's wonderful. And we just endeavor to build it on the base of what is our Bharatiya civilizational aspirations.
Cool.